The year was 1998. I had just graduated middle school on my way to becoming a freshman, not doing all the summer reading that I had to do. And can you blame me? I had to read Tests of the Dubervilles. That did not sound like a lot of fun for a 14-year-old, considering that two movies coming out that summer were both Armageddon and Deep Impact. Two bombastic films about meteors hitting the Earth. And at that time, everybody wondered, how is it possible that two movie studios would come up with virtually the same exact idea at the same exact time? It's one of the questions I still wonder about today. And here we are, years later, and we have two companies coming out with the same idea at the same exact time. CGC and PSA set to release their autograph grading services. And in this video, we're going to talk about that. But of course, before I get into it, if you guys could like, comment, subscribe, I appreciate it. Helps with the channel and doing those things. But let us get into it. Autographs are becoming the next frontier, I think, for a lot of grading companies. This is going to be a big deal moving forward. And I do actually wonder what people are going to think about this particular service in terms of grading the signature itself. I mean, I suppose that we could have seen this coming. I mean, once CGC joined with JSA, we talked about, the graded signature becoming a feature and having it be possibly like a page quality aspect to signed books where people would be willing to pay a premium for it. But at the time in which it was coming with JSA, it seemed pretty niche already. And so, it was going to be hard to determine if there was actually going to be any monetary difference between books that have Stanley signatures that have 10s on them versus 8s. And even to this day, I don't actually know if they command much of a premium, but this might change everything. A new era for Signature Series starts now. Get your CGC Signature Series autographs graded. I'm going to read this press report coming out of CGC, and then we're going to also hop over to the press report coming out of PSA, and we're going to talk about what this could mean for signed books in the future. CGC pioneered witness signature authentication when it introduced CGC Signature Series back in 2001. Nearly 25 years later, the program has enabled legions of fans to obtain the autographs of creators they love, and the CGC Signature yellow label has become an icon in the hobby. Now, CGC Signature Series is excited to offer collectors a new option to even further elevate their autograph collectibles: autograph grading. That's right. Signature Series get their own grade based on quality, and the autograph grade is printed in the CGC grade box with the comics guide. And you guys can see from these example labels right here, you have the CGC 9.8 with the white pages underneath, but Auto 10 up above. 10-0 signatures or bust. Already a Signature Series collector with oodles of amazing autographs in your collection? Reholders are welcome. I mean, I bet they are welcome for reholdering books and sending more to CGC. CGC's autograph experts will grade the autograph only, no regrade required for the comic as long as the CGC holder is intact. Well, at least that's going to be the case. I mean, how painful would that be if you sent in your book for autograph grading and then it came back like a 9.6? I mean, that would just be a complete waste of money. No amount of Auto 10s, I would imagine, are going to affect the value of a book like a 9.8 going to a 9.6. Autograph grading is available across all tiers, including vintage and high value, following a 1 to 10 point scale. While CGC Signature Series signings are performed under ideal conditions using high quality pens with the oversight from CGC, it is possible that even under the best conditions, the autograph grade will be lower than a 10. Submitters are not guaranteed to receive a certain grading result, and all the collectibles will be graded according to CGC standards. Now, this is a very interesting aspect. And actually, one thing to point out is that CGC is having a big signing event with Todd McFarlane. Every time Todd McFarlane does a CGC signing, I mean, we're talking about millions and millions of dollars being generated just by his signature alone. I mean, tens of thousands of copies going into CGC's doors. It's always a big deal, and a lot of people are going to be sending in, I'm sure, a lot of ASM 300s. But it's kind of funny to say that, even there's a human element here that Todd McFarlane's going to be signing a bunch of signatures. And if people are saying they want, like, hopefully a 10-0 signature from him, I mean, what if this is our number 6 with Todd? His hand's starting to get a little cramped, starting to get a little tired. Maybe he smudges the F on Farland. It's not guaranteed that you're going to get that 10-0. And I actually do wonder if the setting in which you get the autograph is going to be something that people consider. I would imagine that he probably rushes it a little more in a con experience, especially if he's a little bit distracted, you're having a conversation with him, compared to a controlled environment where CGC probably sends out a witness to his home or however that he ends up doing these signature things. I feel like maybe those signatures would be a little bit more legible and probably more likely to get the 10-0. But something interesting to consider, could you imagine like, going up to get Todd's signature? And I would just think to myself, like, okay, I want to get that 10-0, okay? But I also want to ask Todd McFarlane about the time that he drew Lizard in Spider-Man issue 2 back in 1990. Signature 10-0 or asking him a little bit of a question and having a human experience with him? Nah, signature 10-0, no questions. Don't talk to Todd. Let him concentrate. That would actually be hilarious. Let's give comic collectors more reason to not be social. But let's carry on here. To request autograph grading, simply check the box for autograph grade after entering your comic book title and declared value. The fee will be $25 for up to 2 autographs. So if you have a double signed book, you can still get both of them verified. And actually, that would be interesting. They didn't show an example of this, but what would the auto grade actually be if you have a bunch of signatures on it? I wonder if they would actually average the auto grades. It doesn't quite actually explain that in the article, but something to consider. Please note that autograph grading is not available for collectibles with more than 2 autographs. So if you had like a 10-0 autograph on one and then you had like a 1-0 autograph on the other, would it say auto 5? The article goes on to explain the collaboration with JSA. And if you guys remember, the JSA auto grade was actually on the back of the label. They just announced that they're going to be putting it on the front of the label as well. And to me, that might be the difference. I mean, I started the video talking about how, like, it doesn't seem like the JSA auto grade has really meant that much in terms of the value of books. At least, anecdotally, I haven't heard from anybody say that there's a premium when there's a 10-0 signature. But I do think that maybe it being on the back of the book was one of the reasons why there wasn't that premium. Now they're putting it on the front. I mean, in the upper left corner, no less. I mean, this is more prominent than even the white page distinction. And I have to wonder if, the snobs are going to come out soon. And I got to admit, like, I'm not somebody who's like has to have like the perfect copy of a particular type of book. But if I do have a 9.8 and it has off-white to white pages, it does bother me. It does make me go, I actually don't want that copy. And if I was someone who wanted to get a 9.8 modern book that was signed by like one of my favorite creators, I too would probably rather have the 10.0 copy. And I can imagine a world where, yeah, this becomes a thing. This becomes like an element for a lot of collectors. I mean, we're OCD like that. We like perfect, pristine, aesthetic things. And we're going to want to see, an autograph that looks really good. I mean, I've seen a lot of Stan Lee autographs that I got to admit, I make fun of a lot of them. Some of them are not that great. And especially the placement, which actually I do wonder if it factors into the grading, the placement itself. Like take this Michael Jordan thing. Like the Michael Jordan, great signature, great placement right in the middle across the chest. Like sometimes Stan Lee, bless his heart, rest in peace, he would like sign over the face of a Spider-Man character. Like it would be like Stan Lee covering like the eyeballs right there. And it wouldn't look the greatest. And I do wonder if they take that into consideration when they're actually grading the autograph. But I digress. Let's hop over to PSA. PSA also came out with their press release. PSA launches signed comic books and magazine services. As you guys can see, they are also now going to be doing the verification at their grading company where they will be able to say, oh, this book is signed by, Jim Lee. And with the service, they are also offering the auto grade itself. As you guys can see, auto 10 underneath the 9.8, auto 9 underneath the 9.8 right there. And isn't that so funny? Like both of these companies, both coming out with this sort of exact same feature at the exact same time. I mean, it makes sense. New York Comic Con is next week. So this is usually when you want to do like your kind of bigger press reports. But it's just funny to me that autos are the future, seemingly at both companies. I'll link the articles if you guys want to actually break it down, but kind of just explains what the services is, much like how CGC explained what the service is as well. But yeah, very interesting. And let's kind of end the video with a little bit of my thoughts here on why I do believe that this kind of just makes sense. I mean, I started the video by saying that this is sort of the new frontier. And frankly, when you think about where grading could possibly go and how these companies, continue to drive business and continue to have money, I mean, really, the modern market is the bread and butter. How long can they grade golden age comic books? I mean, there will always be a nice little payday from an Action Comics 1 that comes into their doors. But at the same time, when you're talking about volume and just the amount of business that is generated from the new modern comic market, It's significant. It's the thing that keeps the lights on. It's the thing that keeps driving business. And it's the thing that you can consistently rely on as far as what books are going to be coming into your doors. Every Wednesday, there's going to be a new set of books. And every San Diego Comic Con, every New York Comic Con, every signing event, you know that you can expect a certain amount of collectors wanting to send in books into their doors and paying for that service of the autograph. And now that they have this extra aspect to, grading the signatures itself, it's going to motivate, again, cracking and resubmitting, especially when you're talking about signatures from creators who are no longer with us. I mean, if you have like a Jack Kirby signature, which is, pretty typically tough to come by already, and then you can get one where it's like, oh, it's an auto 10 from Jack Kirby, or you have like, the earlier Stan Lee signatures when he was like a lot more legible with his autograph. I mean, that could add that little extra amount of premium to a book, much like how White Pages adds that extra little premium. So I think that this is really interesting. It makes a lot of sense why these companies are pushing to this. And I got to end the video asking you guys, what do you guys think about auto grading coming to a gold label near you? Is this something that you guys would actually want to take advantage of? Or is this something that would actually affect how you perceive a book that you may want to purchase? Let me know in the comments. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to say grading is a scam. You don't like grading, all those sort of thing. Don't worry. We're going to have a conversation about grading because I've been noticing a lot of, videos being made, comments being put out there, and people on forums kind of taking this stance of like anti-grading. I mean, I know the Never Slavers have always been there, but there's a lot of people talking about it. And if I'm being honest with you guys, like I kind of feel like there's a lot of, bad takes being thrown out there. And I do want to have like a longer discussion about, where grading stands today and with the uses of grading, but I might need to go on a hike for that type of video. So stay tuned for that one. Anyways, that's all for this one. That was me talking about autograph grading coming to both CGC and PSA. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. See y'all in the next video.